I never thought I'd find myself in this situation. Life has an uncanny way of throwing unexpected curveballs, and this was certainly one of them. My name is Jake, and I've always considered myself a typical straight guy. I grew up in a conservative environment where expressions of anything other than traditional masculinity were frowned upon. To put it bluntly, I used to be homophobic. Everything changed when I met Alex. He was unlike anyone I'd ever encountered before. Confident, witty, and unapologetically himself, he radiated a magnetic charm that was hard to ignore. We met through a mutual friend and were initially just acquaintances. Little did I know that getting to know him would turn my world upside down. As our paths continued to cross, I found myself drawn to Alex's company. We'd often end up in deep conversations about life, dreams, and yes, even relationships. He was open about being gay, and he spoke about his experiences with such authenticity that it shattered the stereotypes I'd held onto for so long. One evening, as we shared stories over drinks, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was falling for Alex. At first, I tried to brush it off as a simple admiration for a friend, but the more time we spent together, the harder it became to deny my feeling. Conflicted and confused, I sought advice from a close friend. She listened without judgment and simply said, "Love knows no boundaries, Jake. It's about connecting with a soul not conforming to societal norms." Her words struck a chord, resonating deep within me. I knew I had to confront my feelings, so I decided to have an honest conversation with Alex. We met at our favorite park, and I nervously stumbled over my words as I tried to explain the mess of emotions swirling inside me. To my surprise, he smiled warmly and admitted that he had sensed something between us too. Alex's response wasn't what I expected. He didn't judge me or make me feel ashamed of my past ignorance. Instead, he saw potential for growth and change. He saw a chance to bridge the gap between two seemingly different worlds. As Alex and I continued to explore our budding relationship, we knew that challenges lay ahead. One of the most significant hurdles we faced was the differing reactions from our families. My conservative upbringing clashed with the open-mindedness that Alex's family embraced. One sunny afternoon, Alex and I sat on his porch, enjoying the warmth of the sun's rays. As we sipped on iced tea, the conversation turned serious. "You know, Jake," Alex began, his expression a mix of concern and contemplation, "my family is excited to meet you, but they're a bit worried about how you might handle things, given your past." I nodded, taking a deep breath. "I understand their concern. I've changed a lot, Alex, but I also understand that actions speak louder than words." He smiled reassuringly, his hand reaching out to rest on mine. "I know you've changed, Jake. I believe in you, and I want them to see the person I see." A few weeks later, I nervously found myself at Alex's family gathering. His parents were warm and welcoming, but the tension was palpable. As we sat down to dinner, I couldn't shake the feeling of being under a microscope. Conversations flowed around us, but I sensed the unspoken questions hanging in the air. After dinner, as the sun set and we gathered on the porch, Alex's mother, Maria, finally broached the topic. "Jake," she began gently, "Alex means the world to us. We've seen him struggle and grow, and we worry about his heart. Can you tell us about your journey, about how you've come to be with him?" I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. "Maria, I won't deny my past. I used to hold on to prejudices and ignorance, but meeting Alex has opened my eyes. He's shown me that love is about the soul, not the gender. I've learned to challenge my own beliefs and embrace love in its purest form." Maria studied me for a moment before speaking again. "Change is a journey, Jake. It's not always easy, and it takes time to earn trust. We want to see that you're genuine, that you truly cherish our son." Alex interjected, his voice unwavering.
"Mom, I've seen the change in him. He's been patient and willing to learn. He's the reason I can believe in second chances."
Touched by Alex's words, I looked at Maria earnestly. "I understand the skepticism, and I don't expect you to fully trust me right away. But I promise you, Maria, I'm committed to Alex, and I'm dedicated to showing you that my love for him is real." Maria's gaze softened, and a small smile tugged at her lips. "Actions do speak louder than words, as my son likes to remind me. We'll take this journey one step at a time." As our relationship deepened and we overcame the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable, Alex decided to plan a surprise for me. He told me to keep a specific evening free and not to ask any questions. Curiosity piqued. I eagerly awaited the day, my mind racing with possibilities. The evening arrived, and I found myself outside Alex's apartment, butterflies dancing in my stomach. He opened the door, his eyes twinkling with excitement. "Ready for an adventure?" he asked, his smile infectious. I nodded, unable to suppress my own grin. "Absolutely." We drove for a while, the anticipation growing with each passing minute. Eventually, we arrived at a secluded spot overlooking the city. The view was breathtaking, the city lights shimmering like a sea of stars. Soft music played in the background, and a picnic blanket was spread out with an array of delectable treats. Alex had thought of everything. Candles flickered, casting a warm glow, and a gentle breeze rustled through the trees. "Welcome to our private corner of the world," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. My heart swelled as I took in the scene before me. "Alex, this is incredible." We settled onto the blanket, sharing stories and laughter as we enjoyed the delicious spread. With each passing moment, I felt the weight of the world melting away, leaving only the two of us and the magic of the night. As we finished our meal, Alex stood up and extended his hand. "Care to dance?" I chuckled, charmed by his request. "But there's no music." He grinned and pulled out a portable speaker from his bag. Soft, romantic melodies filled the air as we swayed under the stars. It felt like a scene from a movie, and I couldn't help but feel like the luckiest person in the world. As the night wore on, we lay on the blanket, gazing up at the stars. The conversation turned introspective, and Alex spoke from the heart. "You know, Jake, when we first met, I never would have imagined that we'd be here sharing this moment." I turned to him, my eyes filled with sincerity. "Alex, you've changed my perspective on so many things. You've shown me that love knows no boundaries, and you've taught me the true meaning of acceptance." He reached for my hand, his touch sending a shiver down my spine. "And you, Jake, have shown me the power of growth and transformation. I never expected to fall for a guy who was once homophobic, but here we are, defying expectation." We shared a tender kiss, sealing the moment with a promise of love and unity. As the night drew to a close, we packed up our picnic and headed back to the car, the memories of the evening etched into our hearts forever. As we returned home from our enchanting and romantic evening, the warmth of the night lingered in the air, wrapping around us like a cozy embrace. Our laughter and whispered conversations filled the car, a testament to the connection we had built and the joy we found in each other's company. Inside the apartment, we kicked off our shoes and settled onto the couch, a sense of contentment settling over us. The dimmed lights created an intimate atmosphere, and the lingering scent of the candles from our picnic added a touch of magic to the room. Alex turned to me, his eyes reflecting a mix of playfulness and affection. "You know, the night doesn't have to end just yet." Curiosity piqued, I raised an eyebrow. "Oh, and what do you have in mind?" He reached for my hand and led me to the living room, where a small area was transformed into a makeshift dance floor. Soft music played in the background, the same melodies that had serenaded us under the stars. "Shall we continue our dance?" he asked with a mischievous grin. I chuckled and nodded, allowing him to pull me into his arms. We swayed to the rhythm, our movements guided by the music and our shared connection. There was an intimacy in the simplicity of the moment, a feeling that we were the only two people in the world. As the music played on, our dance evolved from gentle sways to spontaneous spins and playful twirls. Laughter bubbled between us, and for a while, all worries and stresses faded into the background. Eventually, the music began to fade, and we came to a graceful stop. Alex looked into my eyes, his gaze unwavering. "Thank you for dancing with me, Jake." I smiled, my heart full. "Thank you for creating such a beautiful evening." He leaned in, his lips brushing against mine in a tender kiss. It was a moment of quiet connection, a reminder of the love that had blossomed between us and the journey we had undertaken to get here. As the night continued, we snuggled up on the couch, talking about our hopes and dreams, sharing stories of our pasts, and simply enjoying each other's presence. It was a night of vulnerability and openness, a continuation of the deep conversations that had brought us closer from the beginning.